Perfect. All right. Well, welcome in this crazy world that we've been experiencing. It's great to see so many on the call today. I know we're all going through some hectic days recently, and to be honest, hopefully that continues. And what I mean by that is hectic means we're still working, and our industry needs to be pushing along our building projects. I know Saskatchewan construction folks are a pretty resilient bunch, so I know our companies will get through this, and we'll get stronger, and we'll see each other on the other side of this pandemic. So welcome, and thanks for taking the time to hop on this AGM today. We actually have a pretty short agenda, so I don't imagine we'll be keeping you too long here this afternoon. First thing I want to do actually is introduce the 2019 Board of Directors. So, of course, myself, Mark, with the Flynn Group of companies, I'm the board chair. We have, and most of these folks are on the call, Keith Bird, our vice chair. We have Ryan Samocha, our past chair, Chris Garrett, Mike Skripnik, Karen Lowe, Errol Fisher, Dion Malikoff, Dana Padel, and Paul Knowles. And I apologize, board, if I'm butchering your names. I'm terrible at that. At this point, I think I'd like to just have Jenna, if you could just remind everybody, in case there was one or two folks that missed it, where they can find all the documents that we'll be using today.
Okay, so the agenda, the previous meeting minutes, and our annual report can all be found on our scsaonline.ca website under our events page, just below our AGM graphic. The link to that page is also in the group chat depending on how your computer is set up, but it's in the group chat, the direct link, and you just have to scroll down to where you see the AGM infographic.
Good stuff. Thanks, Jenna. All right, so next item on the list is adoption of agenda. So I'd like someone to call for a motion, I guess, to accept this agenda as presented. And I just ask that any motion makers and seconders just raise their hand and repeat their name, please.
Keith Bird.
Mike Skripnik, I'll second that.
Is there any opposed? All right, carried. Hey, and just to add, I guess if somebody does oppose and I miss it because I'm going too fast or what have you, just start waving, make a ruckus on your screen. That would help us identify that. So, thank you. So next item is adoption of minutes. I'd like someone to call for a motion to accept the minutes as presented.
Corey Johnson.
I'll second Mike Skripnik.
All right, thank you. Okay, and moving right along. So item 4, business arising out of minutes. I'm going to open up to you folks here. Do you have any questions or business arising out of the minutes that you see? Nobody? Pretty quiet, so I'm guessing everybody's good with that. Okay. So next item is item 5, appointment of 2020 Board of Directors. So 5.1, there's recommendations from the board. And the board has recommended to appoint John Desjardins as a board nominated director on the SCSA. So I'd like someone to call for a motion to accept the recommendation to appoint John Desjardins.
I'll make that motion. Keith?
I believe Dana's trying to make us second that. I don't think your mic was off mute there, Dana. Just give us a wave to confirm or off mute. You too, Jenna.
Oh, Lord. Dana, can you give a thumbs up if you're seconding that motion? Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for your involvement and participation.
I'm having a hard time unmuting my screen here.
All right, good stuff. Okay, any opposed to that board nomination? Okay. So with that, I'll move on to 5.2. So introduction of 2020 Board of Directors. So I'd like to introduce the 2020 Board of Directors. Myself, I'm staying on as chair. We also have Ryan Sumatra, Chris Garrett, Mike Skripnik, Karen Lowe, Keith Bird, Errol Fisher, Dion Malikoff, Dana Padel, Paul Knowles, and John Desjardins. Thanks, folks, for your continuing volunteerism. So we'll keep going. Item number 6, annual report. So presentation of the SCSA 2019 annual report. So what I think I'm going to do is actually read my presidential report that I had presented, just because I've got the floor and I'm talking anyway, and this seems to be going pretty quick. I'll preface this by saying it seems like it was years ago, when it was only a few weeks ago when I wrote this, but definitely this COVID-19 has changed our mindset a lot and our expected outlook for sure. So regardless, I'll take the time to read it to you. So just bear with me for a couple minutes. So 2019 was a year of maturation and accomplishments for the Saskatchewan Construction Safety Association Board of Directors. Having reformed our governance model a year prior, we took time this past year to develop a strong organizational structure. Part of that structure includes a strategic plan that will guide the SCSA through 2022 in providing safety-related programs and services to the construction industry, resulting in sound foundation for a safe, healthy, and profitable industry. Using a synergistic approach, the board took measures this past year to appraise the skill sets of our directors needed by our membership to guide the SCSA in creating the safest construction environment in Canada. Our volunteer directors, who represent our construction industry, are responsive to the changing needs of our members. The board understands diversity among our directors should reflect the diversity we see in our workforce, and we've been earnest in seeing that come to fruition. The regional safety committees continue to provide a link from the construction communities up to the board and the SCSA. It's their grassroots engagement to the board that helps us understand the gravitas of dealing with increases in Sask WCB premium rates, ranging from B11 residential construction, which was up 5.8% this year, B12 construction trades up 4.3% this year, and B13 industrial commercial construction, which is up 5.6% this year. The board recognizes the need for the SCSA to be fiscally responsible to our members in these tough economic times that include shrinking margins, shrinking work, and growing costs. We will work within our means to guide SCSA in serving workers, employers, and the public in promoting safety within the construction environment. The Saskatchewan Growth Plan is poised to be very, very exciting for our province. More people, more jobs will mean many opportunities for our membership to engage in the successes of the building expansion expected with executing this plan. We look forward to being part of the next boom as this province moves to its goal of 100,000 more jobs and 1.4 million residents. The Board of Directors support the SCSA's recent initiatives in modernizing delivery of our services to our membership and support the Government of Saskatchewan's belief that technology and innovation will be a catalyst as the construction sector positions us in meeting the growth plan. On behalf of the Board of Directors, we thank you for your support in leading us to one day become the safest construction environment in Canada. So that was my presidential report as written a couple of weeks ago. Again, it seems so different in what's been happening over the last few days, but appreciate you guys listening. I'd like to continue on here with item number 7. Actually, first of all, before we do that, I think I missed another call. So I'm going to ask you guys, I need a call for a motion to accept the chairperson's report, presidential report, operations report. Again, you can find all these things online, and the advisory committee report as presented in the annual report. And I ask that any of the motion makers and seconders raise their hand and repeat their name.
Mike Scribnick, I'll make a motion to accept the reports.
I'll second that motion. Keith Bird.
Thanks, Keith. Is there any opposed? If not, that's carried as well. Thank you. So item 7, 2019 Auditor's Report and Financial Statements. So again, you'll find all this online. Hopefully everyone had a chance to review those. So I ask, I need another motion to accept the Auditor's Report, 2019 Auditor's Report as presented in the annual report. And I need a seconder for that as well.
Barb Crow-Snow, a second.
Sorry, Barb, were you making the motion?
Sure, I'll make the motion if it's necessary.
So we're just waiting on somebody to second the motion, please.
Then I'll second it, Jenna.
Thank
Dana.
you.
Thanks, folks. All right, continuing on, item number 8, appointment of the 2020 auditor. So we need to need someone to call a motion to appoint KPMG as auditor for 2020.
I'll make that motion, Drew Tiefenbach.
Thanks, Drew.
I'll second it, Ryan Smutra.
Perfect. All right, keep moving along here. So item number 9, resolution regarding the acts and officers and directors. So again, I'll need a motion, and it's to call for that all acts and decisions of the officers and directors of the Saskatchewan Construction Safety Association, SCSA, throughout 2019 be ratified and approved.
Also move Barb Crow-Snow.
I'll second the motion, Mike Scribnick.
Thank you. All right, I think that pretty much concludes our meeting, believe it or not. Very, very quick. So with that, I'd like to formally adjourn the annual general meeting. Again, thanks everybody for your attendance.
Thanks, Mark.
Thanks, Mark.